Einstein is great for large businesses like US Bank, but it can also be very powerful for small businesses. And so today, as we give you a look at the incredible new capabilities that are My Einstein, we're going to do so from the perspective of not just a small business, but yes, a nonprofit, College Forward. College Forward's mission is to get underprivileged students to and through college. And they do so by employing a network of coaches that work with the students and ensure that they are successful. Now, in the area of Texas that they serve, less than 10% of underprivileged students ever make it to college. But when they go through College Forward's program, they have a college enrollment rate of over 90%. 90%. So these coaches are working with these students, and they log every interaction with every student in Salesforce. That gives College Forward a rich data set in Salesforce, and that's fertile ground for Einstein to do its work. Now we have in the demo booth over here a member of our product marketing team, Julian Sauvage. Julian, hello.
Hey, Marco. Hi, everybody.
Julian, if you don't mind, can you give us a look at what a coach for College Forward would see in Salesforce? Well, here we have it. Thank you. So like many of you here, they have heavily customized their Salesforce instance. So along the top, we see various custom objects, students and schools and semesters, things that make sense to their business. Along the right-hand side, you can see tasks that are due of the coach today and conversations and chatter with colleagues. And in the middle, we have Einstein Analytics. But right now, these analytics are looking backwards. They're looking at students who have enrolled and who have dropped out. And the question is, can we make this look forward? Can we make this into an early warning system that will tell us which students are going to drop out of the program before they do so? Julian, is that something we can do with Einstein?
Yes, absolutely, Marco. Well, it seems like you want to predict the dropout, right, for students. It seems to be like a pretty custom use case on custom data. I think this is a great fit for My Einstein, namely Einstein Prediction Builder. Point, click, and predict. So I'll just go ahead and get started. And what I really like about this product, Marco, is that it tries a bunch of different models, including random forests and...
Whoa. No. If I'm not mistaken, you have a master's degree in statistics, do you not?
I do.
And that makes you a data scientist, does it not?
I guess it does, I'm sorry.
We designed this product for Salesforce administrators who don't necessarily have a background in data science. And so, we're going to do something a little different today. Is there any trailblazer here in the audience that would be interested in going up to that demo booth with Julian and building a prediction right now? Raise your hands, anybody? Come on.
Anybody?
Yeah, all right. This lady right here, she rose her hand pretty quickly. Come on up, come with me. That's right, let's build a prediction in front of like 2,000 people. What could possibly go wrong? Come on, let's go up to the booth. All right.
No pressure.
Watch the bump here. Okay. Now, before we get started here, can you tell us what's your name?
Avalon.
All right, Avalon. What do you do?
I am a data manager for a local nonprofit called 10,000 Degrees.
Oh, also for a nonprofit. Excellent.
Yes.
All right. Well, meet Julian Sauvage, and please build me a prediction.
All right. Yeah, Avalon.
Hello.
Hey, you can keep your mic if you want. All right, so I'm not going to be clicking. This is Avalon's fingers. So let's start with a new prediction here. You have no PhD in data science, you sure?
No, I do not.
Okay, that's
Not
good.
yet.
Not yet. All right, well, let's get started. We'll give that prediction a name, so let's call that dropout, because we're predicting dropout, right? Yep, and then go ahead and get started. And then there's 4 things you need to do, Avalon. 4 things, and that's it. So step 1 is select the object to predict. We're going to choose that custom object called student. I think you need to scroll down a bit. Here we are. Select that, and then hit next. Okay, step 1. Step 2 is we're going to select the field to predict. So let's go ahead and select dropped out here in the middle. Perfect. Go and hit next. Step 3 is just confirm the data we'll use to make our prediction. Seems like a pretty rich and good data set that we have here, so I'll go ahead and hit next. Okay. 4th and last step, Avalon, is save that prediction to a new field that we're going to call risk of dropping out. You can select that, hit next, review your prediction settings, we're good with that, and bam, just go ahead and build your prediction. And that's it. That's what it takes. 4 clicks, Marco, 4 steps. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you, Avalon. That is incredible. You got to give it up to her, standing up in front of the crowd like this. Well, Avalon has just built a custom prediction on a custom object. That is incredible. But now what? Okay, so Julien, you built the prediction. What are we going to do with it? What does it even look like?
It's a great question. There's multiple ways you can visualize the prediction in your pages, right? So I'll just go ahead and finish that. You can put that in your workflows with Process Builder. You can do a bunch of things. You can just have your prediction in your page. So I'll just go ahead, open my Lightning App Builder, drag and drop that newly created Einstein Prediction Builder component, save that, hit back, et voila. This is your prediction in your student record.
All right. I see. Lightning component, huh? Now, wait a minute. I know that a lot of folks here are still using Classic for various reasons. Does this work in Classic too?
It does.
All right, so for those of you using the Classic interface, yes, Einstein works with Classic as well. So now we have a prediction. In this case, it's a prediction of a student dropping out. Now you can imagine that many of you would build a similar type of prediction, maybe not of students dropping out, but of customers attriting or of employees leaving. Einstein Prediction Builder can handle lots of different use cases. And if we take a close look at it, we can see kind of the essence of what a prediction is. A prediction of this type is a probability of a future event happening, in this case, of a student dropping out. And like the other Einstein capabilities that Ali showed earlier, when Einstein makes a prediction, it doesn't just give you the prediction. It also gives you why. So it's got those predictive factors down there. Now, those predictive factors came from the data. So when Avalon went up there and she made those few clicks that she did, that kicked off this whole process where the Einstein engine went through all the data that College Forward has. It looked at all the students. And for the few of them that dropped out, it found these patterns that pertain to dropping out, about attendance, about GPA, about living conditions, and many more. And it applies those patterns here to arrive at this risk score. But all of those factors there are coming from standard and custom fields in Salesforce. This is all structured data. But College Forward also has a lot of unstructured data. As I mentioned, these coaches, when they meet with these students, log every interaction in Salesforce, but they often do so in the form of free text, in the form of counselor notes. Now we can use another part of my Einstein Language Services, to extract useful information from this free text. Let's have a look at that. So as you can see, Julien has already added a counselor note. Julien, would you mind submitting that? Now, this note indicated that the student was having trouble finding housing. Einstein Language Services can read that text, and it can extract information from it. In this case, it did so and set this flag on the student's record saying that she's now in a troubled living condition. The Einstein Prediction Builder prediction that Avalon previously had built discovered that that was one of the risk factors. And so as a result, because that flag was set, the risk score has now risen. Now, it's one thing to look at a prediction and see it on the page, but what you really want to do is take action on that prediction. But the predictions made by My Einstein are eligible for all the rich workflow capabilities that are built into the Salesforce platform. And so here, we've built a workflow with Process Builder that when a student is above a certain threshold of risk, and when one of the factors is a troubled living condition, it will automatically create a case to assign a social worker to work with that student and attempt to find that student housing and get them back on track. And so now that we have this prediction in the system, when a coach logs into Salesforce, they will no longer be looking backward, but looking forward. They can see at a glance all the students that they're currently working with and their risk scores, so they can know immediately which students most require their attention. And now to tell us a little bit more about how Salesforce and Einstein are changing the way College Forward changes the world is none other than the CEO of College Forward, Austin Buchan. Austin.
Bam.
How you doing, Marco?
Welcome to Dreamforce.
Thank you so much.
Well-
So excited to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the problem that College Forward is solving?
Absolutely. It's a daunting one, everyone. As you showed earlier, only 10% of our nation's low-income students are going into and actually completing their college degree. This is compared to about 70% for their high-income peers. And this is a number that has been with us since the 1960s and is really only getting worse. So every single year, we're seeing hundreds of thousands of students enroll and subsequently drop out before they complete their college degree. And that's exactly, as doom and gloomy as that sounds, this is where College Forward steps in combination with these incredible young people that we employ through an AmeriCorps program. We're able to really prove that anybody with a desire and a motivation to go off to school, with a little bit of support from someone who's been there themselves, maybe just recently graduated from college, can make this happen. And the wraparound support, that one-on-one individualized coaching to demystify the process, to connect them with resources, is really a way for us to level the playing field at scale. And we've been doing this. So despite the odds, despite the cards that are stacked against so many of our students on their path to higher education, we see time and time again thousands of our students beating the odds, becoming the first person in their family to graduate from college, and really start breaking that cycle of generational poverty.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Now, how did you come to use Salesforce?
Well, I think like a lot of small and mid-sized companies in the world, for-profit or nonprofit, College Forward was really struggling. Data management was a key value of the organization. We knew it had a huge critical role in helping us evaluate our work, better understand what it was that we were doing well and what we weren't doing well. But we were doing this, I'm only slightly embarrassed to say, on a combination of 27 Excel spreadsheets, Google Docs, and a third-party software that we basically bent until it broke. We were very fortunate, unlike a lot of nonprofits, finding resources to invest in data platforms is really hard. But we received a large grant, and I mean, it's no brainer why we picked Salesforce. It was customizable, it was in the cloud. We have 130 young people that work for us who are coming straight out of college themselves, so the usability had to be there. And that's really what we did. We spent about 6 years customizing and converting the entire platform into a 360 student information system that allows us to do all the incredible work that we're now looking at today.
Yeah, it is amazing. Now, I understand that you're not just a Salesforce user, you're also an App Exchange partner. So how do you anticipate that Einstein will change how you work with your partners?
Absolutely. I'm going to steal John's phrase. We are scrappy, and part of our scrappiness is realizing that as quickly as we've grown from 30 students to 8,000 students to where we are today, it's only a fraction of the need that's out there. And we recognized this pretty early on. And in partnership with Salesforce, about 3.5 years ago, we took all these incredible customizations that we've made on the platform, packaged them up into this incredible new tool that we call Copilot, which has been on the App Exchange. We had one partner who's actually in the audience today, College Possible, in day one. Fast forward to today, we have 40 organizations collectively serving 240,000 students throughout the U.S., across 20 states. And we had our first international partner in Rwanda doing this work as well.
That is awesome.
So, you know, Einstein, it's really building off the vision of Mark Benioff of democratizing access to these sorts of tools. What we build at College Forward to support our staff and students doesn't stay with us. We can take these customizations, this incredible work that we've been building with you guys, put it into this managed package, and really lift all boats with really just a few clicks.
That's right, because my Einstein will be packagable
Incredible.
too. Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, I understand that we actually have here a graduate of one of your partner programs. Is that true?
That's right. One of our incredible co-pilot partners that we've been working with the past few years is this great organization called 10,000 Degrees, doing very, very similar work to College Forward, actually right here in the Bay Area. And this is going to sound eerily familiar to you, but that young woman you brought up to do the demo, Avalon, is not just a trailblazer in Salesforce. She's a trailblazer for herself, for her family. And you'll hear a little bit more about her story, but I think you're going to really appreciate hearing this.
All right, Avalon. Where did you go, Avalon? Please, come on up. What a coincidence. Avalon, please join us. Well, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back to the stage again. And thank
Hello.
you for building that prediction earlier.
Yeah.
Can you tell us your Trailblazer story?
Yeah, so it's kind of a long story, but I, like Austin mentioned, I am an alum of a local nonprofit called 10,000 Degrees. that's based in Santa Fe, just a half hour away. And I am the first in my family to not only graduate high school, but also attend college and graduate college.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And a lot of that comes from the support that I got from 10,000 Degrees. I was a high school student that didn't know anything about the process of getting into college. They helped me figure out how to get in, how to pay for it, and how to succeed in college. So I am endlessly thankful towards that 10,000 Degrees. I went to Mills College, which is a local women's college across the bay, women's colleges.
Yeah, Mills College.
And I did a lot of research, and then that got me into data, and then after I graduated college, started working for 10,000 Degrees, working directly with other first-generation low-income students in our peer-to-peer model, and I loved it, but I started doing more data-centric work, getting back to what my experience is in after about a year, and then a year and a half ago, we started working with Copilot and Salesforce, and it just drastically increased our efficiency, our data integrity, our security, and everything, and making so that we can improve the work we do with students. And actually, it's interesting, the example that was put for the language interpreter, the language processor, brought something up for me in that I also experienced housing instability when I was in college, and I was very much at risk of being homeless when I started college. And if we can bring this kind of work into with our advisors who work with students, and they can have these tools to bring the finite resources that we have in college access programs to direct those resources to the right student at the right time so that they can succeed, we can do so much good in these communities.
Fantastic.
It's very exciting.
Well, thank you very much for being a trailblazer. Let's give it up for Avalon, brave trailblazer, and Austin Buchan.
Thank you, Marco.
Thank you both. Thank you, Avalon.